This song goes back to about 2017 or 18, but you may remember there was an epidemic of people that were killed around that time by white cops. And in particular, we had one right here in West Palm Beach, near where I live. A young man who was a drummer in a rock and roll band had a flat tire, and he pulled his van up onto the exit ramp and was waiting for AAA to show up. And while he was waiting, a white off-duty cop pulled up, asked him who he was and why he was there, and pulled his gun on him. And the guy, not surprisingly, thought that, at 3 o'clock in the morning with nobody around to witness it, that the guy was going to shoot him. And he tried to run away, and the guy shot him in the back and killed him. And I don't know, I don't think he was ever, I think his trial is still, his situation is still going on. They finally figured out who it was who did it. They actually caught the guy. Well, anyway, this song kind of came out of that period of time. Don't speak to me of God if you just mean white on black. Speak to me of justice, and when you have done justice, you can speak to me of God. Hey, don't shout to me of freedom if all you mean is profit. Whisper your compassion, and when you've shown compassion, you can shout to me of freedom. Tell me that of science, of knowledge, of wisdom, some light's bound to find the cracks. If you've prepaid for your opinions and pre-ordered your ignorance, you should demand your money back. Hey, don't sing to me of love and then assault my body. Show some understanding, and when you've shown your understanding, you can sing to me with love. Now you can't sell peace and quiet if all you mean is status quo, and that's a necessary change in the wind. If you won't speak for justice, you got to know that justice is gonna speak for herself again. They don't speak to me of faith, yours or any others. Speak to me of justice, and when you have done justice, you can speak to me with love. Well, that's my answer to the, thoughts and prayers.
I think it's up to each artist to decide what their comfort level is in terms of how politically out there they want to be. I think my fans at this point know that I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be honest. I mean, my music is from my heart.
I think that there are people who feel uncomfortable doing it, and I don't think they should if that's the way they feel, even though they have very strong views. They feel that it's a line they don't want to cross, and if that's the way they feel, they should be true to themselves. So I don't feel that it's incumbent on everybody to do that.
Back in mid-June, I had been about 2 months without gigs at that point. My tour in the middle of my Southern tour had been canceled. I was down in Muscle Shoals, and COVID hit and had to come running back to Vermont with my band, and all our gigs got canceled. And and George Floyd had been murdered a few weeks earlier. And I was just trying to think of what I could do to help the cause of racial justice and equity. And I thought, well, I've got all these songs that I've written that I feel really proud of that I'd like to put out in the world. And what if I recorded them here in Vermont with some of my friends in a socially distanced way, in a safe way, and then took all the proceeds and donated them to groups that are working for racial justice and equity. I thought that would be something that I'd feel really good about, to really give back to the culture and the people who've given me so much. Most of my mentors have been Black men and women. I've made my whole career off of playing Black music, whether it's blues or soul or incorporated gospel. Really my inspiration to be a musician full time is Black music. I mean, like that song on the new record, the Evil That Men Do. I mean, it really just started with, I say this land is haunted like a house up on a hill. Look through its broken windows and feel the bitter chill. All the years have come and gone, there is no mercy still. I know you feel it too, the evil that men do. So that was the first verse, and that was really just the idea behind that was, that we live in this country where there's so much sordid history, so much evil, true evil that has gone on. I mean, you can point to Germany and say the Holocaust, and you can point to Uganda and say their own version of the Holocaust there and things like that. But we've had our own versions of the Holocaust here, whether it's the Native Americans or slavery and the way we've treated people here, minorities. And so I just felt like, we need to talk about this. And the past does impact the current moment. And I just thought it's like a haunted house, the memories, the spirits, the cruelties that are still remembered, And then also just the idea that even if you were like, you don't know any Black people, or you're extremely super conservative and you think all this stuff about race is really just playing the race card, I think you would still feel like somewhere deep inside, you can still feel the pain that these people are going through and the reason they're marching in the streets. Yeah. I know you feel it too, that line. I really felt like that was kind of what would bring the audience in, Once I decided, we're going to do a record, I thought that has to be on the record. It wasn't like I wrote it for the record, but I was like, and I don't want to be the only one singing it. I want to have other voices on there to make it more like a universal, and I thought it'd be really powerful to have Black voices on there. So I got my friend Johnny Rawls to sing a verse, Trudy Lynn, who's the blues queen of Houston, Texas. She's incredible. One of our elders in the blues world, and really amazing singer. She just really brought me to tears listening to her verse. And then Anika Chambers, Annie Mac, both of whom are a little bit younger, and really powerful women singing their verses. I'm really happy with how it came out, And people seem to be really moved by it. I mean, I get a lot of response to that tune.
This is kind of one of my more recent commentaries, you might say. There's a man 6 feet away. He's pointing and laughing at me. He says I've fallen for a hoax, a conspiracy. To wear a mask, he says, infringes on his rights. It's all about freedom, he says to me there in the checkout line. You may be right, I say, I don't have all the answers. And if you are, I'll look foolish and have wasted my time. But if you're wrong, a lot of people might die tomorrow. Freedom goes both ways, my friend, and I'm exercising mine. There's a whole political party who says there's no global warming. They got their own TV network to tell you it's all a joke. And this guy calls me a tree hugger for the electric car I'm driving, and climbs down from his monster truck in a big blue cloud of smoke. Well, you may be right, I say, I don't know the future. And if you are, I'll miss my chance to make that engine whine. And if you're wrong, people will lose their homes and families. Freedom goes both ways, my friend, and I'm exercising mine. Jesse James rode the trails across the wide Missouri, and he never put a mask on except to go into a bank. He always took it off when someone took him in and bought him dinner, and he never put it on again till somebody said thanks. Bubba Beer got on the corner with his AK-47, says taking my guns away ain't gonna save those kids in school. It's my right to show up anywhere, carrying anything I want to. If you're not carrying nowadays, well, maybe you're a fool. You may be right, I say, but I will still be working to walk the streets without you threatening me or my kind. And if you're wrong, we could save a lot of kids from dying. Freedom goes both ways, my friend, and I'm exercising mine. Freedom goes both ways, my friend, and I'm exercising mine. Freedom goes both ways, my friend, and I'm exercising mine. I like to write songs that give people something to think about, maybe. Not just, yeah, I can, yeah, okay, sure, but yeah, I never thought of that before. That's kind of a reaction I like to get. We had the Parkland shooting here in Fort Lauderdale, is only about 20 miles away from us. And a couple days after that, back on Valentine's Day, I guess, 3 years ago now, the Parkland kids came to my town and gave a speech on the steps of our city hall. I went to it, and I thought they were great, really brilliant young people. I'm looking forward to that younger generation having more to say about things, because I think they are going to change the dynamic to some extent, the way the '60s, the young people of the '60s did. You know, before the '50s and '60s, the idea that black people were human beings wasn't, very current in America. In the '60s, I think we got civil rights on the table. We got the idea that, how many, what does it take to call a man, like the Dylan tune, "Blowing in the Wind." Very important. And I'm hoping that the younger generation of today will have a similar impact on us in the future.
I say this land is haunted like a house up on a hill. Look through its broken windows and feel the bitter chill. All the years have come and gone, there is no mercy still. I know you feel it too, the evil that men do.